Overwatch 2 came out and it's officially reignited my video game addiction. Playing the game a bunch inspired me to want to make a poster for one of the heroes, so that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. I was having trouble choosing which one to use, so I'm just going to head over to the game and see which one I've played the most. Alright, let's check this out. So either Soldier, Junker Queen, or Mei. I think there's one, I know there's one more hour on Soldier, but I think Junker Queen's the coolest, so I'm gonna go with that one. This actually works out perfectly because I was afraid when designing this poster it would lean too far into the esport-esque style of design. Now, I'm not really a fan of that too much, but since Junker Queen's like pretty punk and inspired in that way with a lot of her skins and her kind of story, I think we could do something with that. She also plays a guitar and stuff in her little cinematic short, so maybe we could do some kind of punk inspired flyer, like a concert poster. I made this quick little sketch. It's pretty awful, but basically just to outline, I think, the layout I want to do for the poster. And with that, we can just hop into Photoshop. I'm going to start by just setting up some guides real quick. With my sketch, I had something kind of like this right here. So I'm going to start with making the square up to the margins, and then that'll probably come down most of the way like that. I like to kind of block out my posters and stuff like this sometimes. It's easier once you get kind of a general layout to then go in and like actually finesse it. It's kind of like, I would say, equivalent of, you know, people who draw really well, they kind of sketch out the basic shapes and stuff when it comes to drawing like a portrait or whatever it may be, because a lot of the other characters are very shiny and kind of tech focused in a way and like futuristic. I really like how this one's very Mad Max-esque, and it's also in the same lore as some of my other favorite characters, Roadhog and Junkrat. So I might throw them in here too. If we're gonna do a tour, like a concert poster type thing, maybe they'll be featuring or something. I want something tall. Armagothic might work. I don't know if I like the way that Q drops down. What about Franklin? I think this one might work better. I want to make this up here. So there's the big title. I also think this could be a little even taller. Something like that. We're gonna do a stroke. I want the background to be black. Maybe if I do that now, it'll be easier to lay out. This, we're gonna throw a stroke on it. All right, it's gonna be white. Go outside. I don't want them quite touching that much. That's fine for now. Move that down a little bit. It's gonna change the sizing of this some. I think if we have it tuck right under that Q like that, that's kind of cool. Is it too close? Yeah, that's dope. Now we need to make sure we have space for everything because I have some other copy I need to put in here. So, all right, the live at Junkertown, I think I'm gonna pop right here, and we're gonna use mostly Neue Haas Grotesk, I think, for this. And I want to do a cutout thing later. I'm gonna turn this off for now so I can do this. This is how I measure things. I know I've probably talked about this before, but we're just gonna grab that. Throw that on there. Now we have our little measurement. And what I want to do, I think, is cut those letters out and we'll paste them in like the kind of old Xerox style. So that won't look exactly like that, but I think we can leave it like that for now. Let's get the picture in first. Maybe this one if I can bid it correctly. I know I'm gonna do like a punk stamp threshold thing too, so this might actually work. I just size it like something like that. I have an action I saved for it and I'll show you after. Punk stamp. Yeah, okay. I want to edit that some, but you get the general kind of vibe of it. Very like Xerox grain-esque. I might want to add a clumped grain as well. These settings are different for any image you use for this, so I can't really copy these exactly, but the general thing is the stamp and the grain. I've actually made a whole tutorial on this where you can two-tone color it and everything over on the Patreon if you want to check that out. Yeah, that's cool. I might be evil Abe. I could also have the hand stretch out right here. That's basically what I'm trying to say when I noticed this. I'm gonna duplicate this and see if that makes sense. No, I don't really like that. This is what we'll do to fill in some of that gap. I'll duplicate this and I'll intensify the grain all the way. Yeah, okay, cool. Like that. Now we'll just mask out the rest and fill that space in. Perfect. Put a mask, that, and fill it in with some white. Yeah, there we go. Now I want this to have a stroke, so we'll put it on the rectangle here. Do 30. That's cool. Now right here we have the main, like, I guess information would be like for the flyer. We'll put Tuesday, November 1st, and the 25 credits. So 25, and then we need to get the Overwatch credits symbol. Make it all black though. Perfect. There we go. All right, that's kind of working. Make a guide for this. Someone asked how do I make those guides like that. You grab the ruler thing and pull it out. Resize this a little bit. Move it there. Now we have our 3 separate groups like that. The top one, second one, and that one. So we can go here and align them all. There we go. Featuring. Let's see if I can make these pictures work. I think I'll do a circle. We'll clip it in there. And we'll just apply this same filter from below. Gotta edit that a little bit. That should work. We need a stroke on that. All right, then we just gotta do the same for the Roadhog picture. Now I was gonna resize all these to the bottom. Actually gonna rasterize these so the stamp doesn't get messed up. And I'll have to put their names in right there. This is the rough layout, but what I still need to do is kind of stylize some of the stuff and also change the color to the black background and then reconstruct it with some analog type stuff. Let's do that real quick. Okay, I want to do some adjustments to some of this stuff. I use this action called distress press, which helps kind of roughen some of this stuff up, and I really like it. I'm gonna start that by, I'm gonna convert this to a smart object, rasterize it, hit it with this distress press from it's the True Grit texture supply distress press. It's pretty cool. So you see that? Kind of roughened it a bit. I'm gonna further that by doing it again and going to a displacement map. Now I'm gonna use one of the black market ones. There we go. Same with these. Go around and do this to pretty much all my type and everything. All these fine little details make the difference though once you're done with everything. All right, that should be pretty good for now. So this is how I'm gonna print this stuff. This one's gonna be one layer that I'm gonna print out, and we're gonna print out just this layer. And then lastly, we will print out this stuff like that by itself. So here are the 3 different printed layers: the background, picture, and the type. Started by just cutting out the Junker Queen, placed it where I thought it should go, and then glued it down. Next step, I just kind of texturized it a little bit with the nail file and this old X-Acto knife I don't use anymore. And then we had to cut each little piece out. And then I just kind of lay out where I think the letters should go and everything before I glue them down, just to get a feel. When I was laying these out, I realized the first looked better next to the November, so I went with that and glued it down. Now that it's scanned in, I just gotta throw it into Photoshop and give it some finishing touches. I'm gonna leave a little bit of that white edge, something like that. See, I like doing this because we get all that texture. So first I'm just gonna give it a gradient map to make it completely black and white. I might go in with this 51 like this. That's how you'd kind of see it back in the day, and then they'd reprint that. What I'm gonna do is just lower this a little bit. So I'm really happy with how the final design turned out, and actually I'm gonna upload the source file to the Patreon. But overall, it looks pretty good and it was fun. I don't think any Overwatch type poster has ever been made like this. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. That's it for now. Peace.